What is good, guys? It's Ray J back with another video, and in this one I want to break down what's going on with Tesla, SPY, Nvda, the QQQ, and a couple of other tickers. I'm going to break down what's happening with some big announcements that just came out for Tesla, which are very important and contribute to the price action we're seeing, and also why tomorrow is going to be another very important day as I have some big data coming out. So I'm going to break down what that is and what my warning is for all Tesla investors. But before I break anything down all this information, before I get into any more details, let me just mention a couple of things. Firstly, I am not a financial planner, so take nothing I say as financial advice. And also, if you guys can, please check out the Moomoo link, which is down below and in the description. If you sign up for Moomoo, the link down below, and deposit $100 into the account, you are guaranteed up to 5 free stocks. If you deposit $1,000, you're guaranteed up to 15 free stocks, and the offer ends in just 3 days. Anyways, now let's talk about what's happening with Tesla and the markets. Tesla's kind of selling off right over here, trying to hold around 187.5. If we lose this, there's going to be even more downside coming, so it's very critical that Tesla tries to hold this, or at least close around this area. Now, even though it is important to watch how Tesla's moving, we do have a falling wedge-like structure attempting to develop right here, but whether or not this plays out and whether or not Tesla gets a big bounce is also dependent on some other factors, as we have CPI coming out for tomorrow. So I'll talk about that in just a minute, but I first want to talk about some big announcements about Tesla. So unfortunately, we have a big announcement by Tesla. They have confirmed that no Model Y refresh is coming this year. Without the refresh, that's not going to be the best of news for Tesla. And it's told employees to communicate to buyers that there's no refresh. So that's not the best of news. After the Model 3 refresh launched last year, there's been a lot of articles coming out about the Model Y refresh to follow. I've been seeing this over and over again. And there were a lot of people talking about how, Reuters had a report that claimed Tesla was planning a Model Y refresh called Juniper to come out in 2024. I was actually seeing this on a lot of headlines. I remember looking at this and listening to this, and it just ended up not happening. So that's a little bit negative, and it is what it is, hearing that. And on top of this, I just want to mention that Tesla also planned the release of the Model Y refresh in mid-2024. So with all that talk coming out and all these people talking about that, we ended up just not getting the confirmation that we wanted, and this was a little bit negative for Tesla. All this is, this is making up all of the headlines. There's no Model Y refresh planned this year in North America. So it is what it is, a little bit negative. There's not really a whole lot that Tesla could do about this. But with that coming out, this is why we're starting to see some negative price action from Tesla. There's also some good news that came out. Stellantis is finally adopting the NACS charger. This is the North American standard one. But there's no deal with Tesla, which has been officially announced, which is a little bit negative. So with that being said, because Tesla has not really confirmed this, it's not the best of news for Tesla, technically speaking. But if there's anything announced about Tesla, and if they start forming deals with Tesla for the charging standards and the different charging stations, that would be a lot better for them. So this does open that possibility. So we'll see if any deals end up coming out in the future. So far, there isn't anything, so we'll just see how it goes. So with that being said, Tesla announced some more discounts earlier today. They announced that they're going to be cutting prices in North America by about $1,000, at least just temporarily. And on top of this, we have all this news coming out about Tesla confirming no Model Y. That's part of why Tesla's selling off like this. It is respecting a falling wedge-like pattern, but this might not hold, so we'll just have to wait and see. I wouldn't solely trade based off that. I also want to call out that there's another factor affecting the whole markets, including Tesla. Tomorrow is going to be CPI day, so an hour before the market opens, we have CPI coming out. We're expecting inflation year over year to be basically a little bit lower than what we got previously. Same thing with core inflation year over year. We want this to be below what we got previously as well. So that's what the expectations are. This is what the CPI chart is basically looking like. For all items, we got a slight increase in December. We'll see if we follow this trend or not for January. And then for core CPI, that's all items without food and energy, we're seeing this decrease right over here. So we're going to be watching to see if this follows the trend. So with that being said, let's talk about the charts real quick. What is Tesla essentially doing? We're looking a little bit weak. We're trying to base at 187.5 to 188. We're going to see how that holds. If we do bounce from there, watch 190 as resistance. That's going to be key. And if we lose this support right here, we're going to be sinking towards this 185 area. So I'll be watching this very, very closely for Tesla just to see how well this thing ends up holding, if anything. And then on top of this, I'm expecting a big move tomorrow. So I just want to give you guys a warning. If you want to play, Tesla or SPY or something like this, be careful. If you could play futures, you're going to be completely fine because futures don't have data decay or that you don't have to worry about IV crush and stuff. But if you're playing options, there's a good chance that you won't be able to trade before the market opens. And all this data is going to come out before the market opens. So the market's going to gap up or gap down based off CPI. So if you want to play the CPI, you can make a lot of money. It could work out great, but at the same time, it's risky. So be very careful. If CPI is decent, we could see Tesla push into the 190s quite easily. If not, it's going to get a big rug pull, and we're going to gap down tomorrow. So we'll just have to wait and see. I'm giving you guys a warning about this. Tesla is looking a little bit weaker than the markets, and we'll see how it holds up. And I just want to say that be very, very careful as we approach tomorrow. CPI comes out in the morning. For SPY, this thing is in a very, very interesting position. We saw this thing basically reach resistance at 503.5. We rejected, hit 502. We tried to bounce, rejected, hit 501. We failed to hold that. Then we reached 500. Now we're trying to make our way back up, and we're kind of just shuffling, treating 501 as resistance. So we're kind of stuck right now. We're basically stuck in this range. It all comes down to CPI. That's why it's moving like this. If CPI causes the market to push up, SPY could break 503 and 505. If we get a rug pull, 500 could break and we could be back in the 498 area. I'm open-minded, so if you want to play this, it's your choice, but just be prepared just to be safe. For the QQQ, same setup, same pattern as SPY. We broke down towards this zone. I told you if we lost 436, watch 434 to 435, somewhere in this range we could test, and that's where it went to. It actually came down like right here before coming back up. So watch resistance at 436. If we break this, watch this yellow trend line at 436.8, depending on the timing, then 438 above that. For support, watch this zone right here. 434 is going to be critical. I just want to call out that we'll have to see what happens with CPI, CPI. Does CPI cause this thing to push up, or do we get a big rug pull? We'll just have to wait and see. So if you want to play this, it's your choice. If not, it is what it is. For Nvda is kind of stuck right here. For bullish, you want to see Nvda try to break this resistance right here at 730. And for bearish, you want to see it come all the way back down below 712 and start sinking back down towards this imbalance at 707 and 700. It all depends on CPI, of course, so we'll see what CPI causes. Otherwise, it's kind of shuffling in the 720 area right now. It all depends on CPI, so we'll see what it causes going into tomorrow. If you want to play it, it's your choice, but I'm just giving you guys another warning. Then I'm just going to talk about Aapl and just a couple more. Apple's looking a little bit weak right now, guys. A little bit weak because I've been saying there's a head and shoulders like structure. Watch for a break. We just lost support at 188. We're barely holding 187.5, and it does look more bearish. It is favoring the bears a bit more as we have a head and shoulders, and this thing has been downtrending ever since Friday. So if we lose this range of support in the mid 187s, our next target is going to be 186.5, followed by the 185s. The chart is downtrending right now. We have a head and shoulders. We just broke support, so it's looking weaker. It's looking weaker, not looking the best. To be bullish, you need to get back above 188 and try to break 190. Hasn't done so yet. It does look like it may sink lower. However, CPI is going to be another factor. CPI could still change things, so just be open-minded. CPI could cause this thing to run back above 190, or it could cause this thing to just get rug pulled. So be open-minded to that, but just know that the setup and the pattern is still favoring the bears, so there's a higher probability it comes down going into tomorrow and beyond. Okay, so it's more likely to continue sinking, but CPI is an external factor that could change that. Be open-minded just to be safe, and just know the setup is still looking bearish. All right, with that being said, just a couple more. Let me just go over a few more before I end the video, just real quick. Just so you know, Sofi, just shuffling around the 50 EMA. You can see right here, it's approaching support. It has resistance at 8.5. Now it's just shuffling at the 5 EMA at 8.24. Not really a whole lot's going on. Palantir is testing 25. In my previous video, I said the IWM should push up to 202 plus. We just reached 203.5 and eventually 205 is our next target. Looking bullish, but we'll see what CPI causes. And then finally, we have, let's see what else is there. We have Coinbase. We're shuffling at 147.5. Breakdown, we have 150 coming. The trend is still bullish. It's still strong. To turn bearish, you need to see it lose 144, and it could actually sink a little bit more. Hasn't done so yet. It's still favoring the bulls. I think that's it for now. So take care, guys. Do not forget, CPI comes out tomorrow morning before the market opens. I'm giving you guys a warning. Tesla started sinking, underperforming because of all this negative news. It confirmed no Model Y refresh is coming. Plus, Stellantis did not announce any deals with Tesla. So it is what it is. Be patient, do what you have to do, and get ready for tomorrow. Thank you for listening, guys. Have a good one, and peace out.